We are blessed to have a loaded weekend of the English Premier League this weekend with the Champions League and European competitions returning. This Saturday slate is loaded up with some big teams taking on some smaller teams, highlighted by a Tottenham-Liverpool clash at 12:30. It's going to be a great weekend. Excited to bet on it all. I'm Andrew Passaro. He's Ani Sridhar. We had another great weekend. I had a great Sunday morning. 7-2 on the 9 a.m. slate. 0-3 on Saturday, but that finishes off for a 7-5 weekend. I gave you all Tottenham, Arsenal. The draw was at plus 290. I gave you guys that. It was a ridiculous number. We got it. Absolutely electric Sunday for me. But I'm excited to be back. We're back at it. And we are just a few days away from another midweek of 3 days straight of me sitting on my couch until my eyes start bleeding as I bet on all the European games, but we got a great weekend to get into it. Ani, how are things with you?
Things are great, man. I mean, we had Carabao Cup in the midweek. Chelsea scored a goal. That's a goal in September.
Goal of the month.
Yeah. Not goal of the month, but literally the only goal of the month. So good there. More so than anything, it's just nice to see Nico Jackson score. Maybe he can get out of his own head a little bit, get some confidence going forward, because still he's the only healthy option for Chelsea at the striker position. Armando Broja is still not ready to, go full 90 or even start. He did come off the bench again for the last, 8 or 9 minutes or so. So Nico's the only option up top. So we need him to be confident going forward here with a tough stretch of games coming up for Chelsea.
All right, let's get into it. I'm going to start 7:30 Saturday, Aston Villa, Brighton. Here's a fun one. Over 3.5 is plus 108. I figure let's throw the both teams to score on because both teams to score has hit in every single Brighton matchup this year. You add the both teams to score, you're actually not getting any much extra juice. It's only plus 110. That doesn't make sense to me. So I'm just going to tell you not to risk the both teams to score, even though it has hit. Maybe Aston Villa skunk Brighton and they win 4-0 and then you lose because you added the both teams to score. So we're just riding both over 3.5 plus 108. And in their last 5 head-to-head matchups, Villa are 4-1-0 in that time frame. They have not lost to Brighton. Brighton coming off a loss to Chelsea in the League Cup. We'll see what they do against Aston Villa. That's my first one on the board for Saturday.
Yeah, kind of a mismatch form for both these teams. Brighton coming off of a big win on the weekend, but a midweek loss to Chelsea. Villa coming off a win against Chelsea on the weekend, but then a loss to Everton in the midweek. So it's definitely don't know really what to expect except for goals. I don't know who's going to win this game. I'll tell you that much, but I'm on the same page as you, and I have over 3.5, and I just actually put it in 10 seconds ago, and I got it at plus 110. So without the both teams to score. So plus 110, both teams to score over 3.5 in this Villa Brighton match.
There we go. All right. I'm going to West Ham taking on Sheffield. I missed 2 West Ham bets last week. I missed their team total and I missed them to score first against Liverpool, but they're playing up against Sheffield, who gave up the touchdown in the 8 and the 2-point conversion at home to Newcastle. So there's one thing to do and one thing only, and that's goals in this one. I like West Ham and over 2.5. That's I'm going to pull it a full unit on that. That's my main pick for this. I'll put a half unit on West Ham team total over 2.5 plus 180, and a half unit on over 3.5 at plus 170. West Ham and over 2.5 is plus 105. I think they take care of business against Sheffield. I do think that Sheffield could get on the score sheet in this one. So if you're feeling it, add both teams to score, maybe a West Ham and both teams to score. Definitely playable options. I didn't look at the numbers, but that's what I like.
Yeah, all right. I have no picks from that game, but I will go to this Newcastle-Burnley game. I've got both teams to score no, minus 106. I said this last week. I said that Newcastle is about to find their defensive identity. They found that in more, winning 8-0 with 8 different goal scorers in that game against Sheffield. They've got another easy run of games here. They should have no problems shutting out Burnley at home in this contest. They are dealing with a little bit of injuries on that back line. I know Burn, Veltman, they're all kind of dealing with the knock, but they should be good to go. Coming off a big midweek victory against Man City in the Carabao Cup. Another clean sheet there for them. I think they keep that rolling here.
I love that. I'm going to throw that in on my card because I'm going to go right to that game, and I like Newcastle team total over 2.5 plus 122. I also like a parlay here. Newcastle money line over 6.5 corners, over 2.5 goals, 22 or more shots that's plus 171. If you just want to crank up a little extra juice on Newcastle scoring 3 goals in that one. I agree with you. I do think they keep the clean sheet. That's back-to-back clean sheets for them. We'll see if they can find their groove, and they've got a big clash. I think they take on Dortmund in the Champions League in the midweek. So we'll see. Maybe there's some rotation against Burnley, but I agree with you. I still think they keep a clean sheet.
One pick from that United game, actually. United Crystal Palace. This is a rematch of the game that happened just a couple of days ago. United won 3-0 against Palace in the Carabao Cup fixture. I'm going back to the same bet I had last week. I had United total corners over 5.5 at plus 102. That didn't hit. They ended up with 5. But this is a game where you cannot beat Palace down the middle. This is a team that's very stout in the middle of the field, and they're gonna want if you're gonna beat Crystal Palace. This is how Man United did it in the midweek. It's gonna be from the wings. That's how Garnacho got involved. So I'm taking the over 5.5 corners again at minus 115 and the over 6.5 at plus 162 for that contest.
I like that. I thought about taking the over 10.5 corners was a plus number. I did some research. Over 10.5 corners, as much as we love it, has only hit in it's has not hit as much as we think it has. It's not as reliable. I think it's actually like 4 and 5 on the season or something like that. So I decided to stay away from that, but it was initially on my card, and then I did some research and I decided against it. Let's go to Tottenham. They're taking on Liverpool. This one's at Tottenham. I would say Liverpool's first real big test since that Chelsea game. And I think it's also Tottenham's, they come out, they have a tough back-to-back, Arsenal and then Liverpool. If they could get, they walk out with 4 points in that's a great stretch for Ange. Liverpool unbeaten, back up to second. But I'm going to start with a parlay. I like it's at plus 171, over 3.5 goals. Both teams to score, over 7.5 corners, and 24 or more shots. I am going to stick with my pick from last week that came in the West Ham game. I like the first half over at plus 102. That's over 1.5. I like Spurs to score first, plus 100. That's Liverpool have conceded the first goal in 5 of their 8 matches this season. They conceded first to Leicester at home in the League Cup on Wednesday, a game that they came back to win 3-1. And I do think this is another one that the points get split. Draw plus 290. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it in, but I like that more than Liverpool money line plus 120. I think Tottenham are getting a huge number money line. I think they've played well, and the fact that it's at home, I wouldn't slight anybody for taking them, for taking the money line in this one. But this has the potential to be another classic. We saw Liverpool bash Tottenham 3-0 last year, 3-0 in the first half last season, and then Tottenham come back, that Richarlison moment before Jota scored to make it 4-3. But we'll see. What do you like?
Yeah, I have 2 plays from this. You mentioned one of them. That's that Tottenham to score first at plus 100. You said 5 of their last 8. That's also 3 of their last 4. So it's not like they got a bunch early and haven't done it recently. Oh, they've been doing it recently. And they've been giving up 1 and then scoring 3, actually. So a lot of 3-1 victories for Liverpool after going down 1-0 early. And my other play is at minus 120. Not the best of odds, but it's Mo Salah to score or assist any time. I mean, what's the streak at now? I think it's at 12 straight Prem games is what it's at.
Yes,
He's got 6. He's got in every game this season, and I think the last 6 of last season he's done it too. So
it's the second time he's gone on a streak of 12 games where he's scored or assist, and he's second only to himself with 15. I think Henry also has 15, so he's trying to break his own record. He's on scintillating form. And yeah, I need to put that on my card. I forgot about that one. Thank you for I tabbed it somewhere.
At like minus 150, and when I saw minus 120, I was like, I'll take this by itself, and it's something I can maybe sprinkle that with maybe like from another game to score or assist as well. Maybe a Jeremy Doku score or assist parlayed with Salah. That could be a kind of juicy one.
I think you just go Holland score assist and Salah score
Yeah,
assist.
don't
And
want to get too
that's,
cute, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. You don't need to don't need to recreate the wheel at all here. So yeah. I before we wrap it up, I do have a parlay. So it's two home teams, an away team, and a total. The parlay clocks in plus 233. Newcastle money line against Burnley. West Ham money line against Sheffield. City money line against Wolves, and over 2.5 in Tottenham Liverpool.
I
Plus
like it.
233. Nice,
Ooh,
easy, no
that's very
uncomplicated.
nice. That's
That
very nice.
plus
Uh,
233.
ooh,
So
yeah, like that
hope
a lot.
hopefully we're cooking. All right, guys. That's it for us. There's only one game Sunday. We'll tweet out picks for Monday's West London Derby when Chelsea play Fulham. But as always, you can follow us at the Plus Money Pod, at Andrew Passaro, at Ani323. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. And also, I was made aware that there's a button that you can hit that makes the videos pop up in your feed. So if you want to do that as well, please do that. We appreciate you guys supporting us. And you can subscribe, you can follow, you can leave a 5-star review, you can do all that stuff. It really helps. Really appreciate it. And until next week, where we'll be back for 2 episodes. Let's try to stay positive. Let's have a good weekend, and best of luck to everybody as we close another weekend in the Premier League.